Alright guys, welcome back to another video. I'm doing a part 2 of frequently asked questions that I get frequently as someone who eats exclusively raw meat. I've eaten only raw meat for the last 5 years, so raw meats such as beef, kangaroo even, white meat, so chicken, fish, a lot of organ meats, raw milk, raw eggs, and other forms of raw dairy, raw milk, raw cheese, all of that. So yeah, I get asked a lot of questions. Obviously, this is a very shocking thing for a lot of people to see and witness. It's like very out of the ordinary for someone to have a diet that is, so restrictive or maybe so unsafe or so dangerous. But yeah, I'm going to be going through 10 of the frequently asked questions that I get to maybe give you guys a bit of insight about what it's like to live and to eat this way, and maybe just appeal to your curiosities. So question 1, will you eat raw food your whole life? The answer, as far as I'm aware, is yes. Like, I really do genuinely enjoy eating and drinking these foods. This is raw milk here. Like, I absolutely love it. For me, like, it gives me the same satisfaction and joy as, having something like traditional fast food, something that like other people may find joy and satisfaction in. But then obviously the stuff I'm doing is healthy, is prolonging my lifespan, and isn't, a detriment to my health or anything. So, as far as I, can understand and can think of course I would. There's no reason not to. I love doing it. My dream is to have a farm and to like grow and hunt all the animals or food, whatever, myself. So yeah, I'll eat raw food my whole life. Next question. Will you make your kids eat this diet? So yeah, the answer is yes. It's literally the healthiest diet on the planet. That goes for anyone. It's the healthiest diet for anyone of any age from anywhere. Like, it's literally just the foods that are most compatible with our biology. So absolutely, my kids will be eating it. They'll be drinking the raw milk, eating the raw meat, having the raw eggs, all the organ meats, and they'll probably love it even more than me, because babies, naturally, they're born with an appetite for all of these raw animal foods. And it's only when we like condition them to eat cereals and to have like shitty processed foods that they kind of lose this natural taste and appetite for it. So yeah, my kids will have it. But then also one thing is that they won't need to have like any of the vegetable juices or any of like the detoxing foods that I have needed to have, because they won't be exposed to anywhere near the amount of toxins and pollutants or vaccines or medications that I was exposed to when I was a young child. So for their sake, they'll be far better off than I was. And also, on that same point, like, my kids will grow up to be like tall, good looking, healthy, like healthier than anyone has ever really seen, because it's only really in such few instances that there have been kids, or like, in this day and age, raised on the raw foods, raised on what is actually a natural and healthy diet. There are some cases, but even then, like, their parents had a really bad diet up until maybe a few years prior to having the kids. So this will be like a really good example, and probably the healthiest example of any kids born for a good while, because I'll have been on the diet now for 5 years. Before I have the kids, I assume like 6 years at least. So yeah, that'll be great. I'm really looking forward to it. Having super healthy kids is my dream. Would you only marry someone who eats the raw diet? So no, I wouldn't only marry someone who eats the raw diet, but in order for me to marry them, they would have to be eating the raw diet. So when I meet them, it's fine. They can eat, whatever the fuck they want, as long as like they're not insanely unhealthy, insanely vaccinated or medicated, and like not completely brainwashed. Like, they still have an idea about what natural food is. Like, they're trying their best still. They just haven't been taught or led correctly. That is basically all I'm looking for. Like, there are some primal girls out there, some girls eating raw meat, but like, honestly, like, I'm very, very happy to teach and lead like the right person, if they are the right person. But yeah, it is a non-negotiable for me. To quote the great Scott Hall, like, I will only be monogamous with a woman if she's actually eating raw meat. That's basically true for me. Like, I only date to marry, but I'd only be dating a girl or like wanting to marry a girl in the first place if she was like open-minded enough and agreed with like my bigger beliefs around life and health and everything. And then also, to go back to the second question, my wife needs to be super healthy, because I want healthy kids. Like, my sperm can only do so much. She needs to be eating a really perfect diet, getting like a lot of animal fats, raw animal fats, a lot of organ meats, all this stuff, to make sure my kids develop correctly when they're in the womb. Next question, how can I get started on this diet? So it really is as simple as getting some grass-fed beef, just eating it raw, getting raw milk, drinking it raw. Like, it is just as simple as raw animal-based foods, a raw animal-based diet. Like, there's more nuance when you want to get to like the healing and biohacking sort of aspect of it. You want to actually amplify your biology. You want to get clearer skin. You want to like increase your testosterone or grow taller. Then it's like the food combinations really are very, very important. But for someone just starting out, like, it's as simple as what I just said. I'd recommend like maybe checking out my course and community, which is linked in the description. There I have like a very beginner-friendly guide and structured course. Also, it's got advanced tips and tricks, but it's very beginner-friendly in that it will tell you where to source the food, what quality to look for, all of this stuff. But no, it's very intuitive. Find high-quality animal foods, eat them raw, be happy. That's that, you know. What's the lowest hanging fruit for someone wanting to try it? So for someone wanting to try the raw foods, I'd say start with raw milk. That's like very easy to understand. It's literally just drinking milk in its natural form, like already intended for animal consumption. So you shouldn't have any issue with that. I mean, sashimi, like get some sashimi grade wild caught fish. Like, that's also a very low hanging fruit. Like, because the biggest barrier for most people is the mental barrier. They're just like scared of eating something that's raw because they're so brainwashed and programmed. But yeah, those like the foods I'd recommend to start out with if you're like a bit of a bitch and like you're actually scared of like bacteria that you can't actually see. What's the first benefit I'll notice after switching? So right away, you'll notice improved digestion. Like, the food will go down very, very easily. You won't have like any bloating or any indigestion that maybe previously you experienced. If your like taste buds are super, super conditioned, you may struggle with the taste or texture at first because it's like very foreign to maybe a lot of the foods you've been used to if you've never even had sushi. But a lot of the time, a lot of people find it really delicious. They really enjoy even the raw chicken, like the fattier cuts of raw meat. And if you've had an especially shit diet, maybe if you're a vegan or have had like health struggles or been struggling with low libido, low testosterone in general, you may notice that like the first night after eating raw meat for the first time or having some raw eggs, you'll get a wet dream. And that's just because like your body is basically so excited at this new surge in nutrition. So yeah, that's something to look forward to. Do you ever worry about parasites or bacteria? So no, this diet is based on the understanding that bacteria and basically most parasites and all parasites that you'll find in raw foods are actually bioremediators in the body. So all these microbes are going to do is accumulate and help your body get rid of toxic waste, degenerative tissues and cells that you otherwise wouldn't be able to get rid of. So this whole idea that salmonella is attacking the body is completely false. It's only coming into the body, breaking down dead degenerative toxic cells, and then you're shitting it all out. So when they test like the stool of someone who has had salmonella food poisoning, they'll see like the elevated levels of salmonella, but what they won't consider is like the elevated toxicity, that being like heavy metals or medication residues that have come out along with the salmonella. So salmonella is not just constantly attacking your body. Like, I'm full of salmonella right now. You most likely are too, but it's only acting as a janitor when there is explicit exact toxins for it to remove. How do you eat raw when you travel? Well, I primarily go to locations that will have raw foods. So right now I'm in Montenegro. I'm getting like the raw milk from like the neighbor's farm every day. I'm just getting meat from the butcher, some meat from the supermarket even. I was just in France, which obviously has like all the raw foods. It's got tartar, ceviche, all the raw dairy, everything. But a little bit of preparation, like preparing beforehand, doing my research, speaking to ChatGPT even to find some food sources. It really is quite easy if you just put in that little bit of effort. And also, like, I'm lucky enough now that I have a social media following, I can just like message friends that I've made or people that I know in the country that I'm visiting to ask like where the best food sources are. Next question, how did your friends and family react when you first started eating raw meat? Honestly, it probably wasn't as bad as most people's friends and family. My family was decently supportive at the time. I was doing like a lot of experimental diet and lifestyle and health related things. So I think my friends and family in general just kind of saw it as like the next crazy thing that Mason's gotten started on. But you know, at first they were skeptical, obviously. I think my mum even cried when she saw me eating raw chicken. But like now, obviously I've been doing it 5 years. My results are great. I've helped lots of people on it. They've really come around to it. All of my friends and all my family members are either very supportive or like actually started on some of the foods themselves. Like my younger sister, she drinks raw milk. She eats a lot of raw kangaroo. My older brother, he does the same thing, which is really great, which makes me really happy because obviously this is something that I love to do. So it's really great and feels really great to be able to share it with other people. Last question, what is the grossest raw meat you've eaten? So grossest in terms of what most people would find the grossest would probably be rotten meat. So yes, I've eaten rotten meat. I've got like jars of 1-year-old, 2-year-old, even 3-year-old rotten meat. It's called high meat. So it's basically fermented meat. So you're allowing the bacteria to multiply and pre-digest all the proteins and fats in the meat so that when you eat it, the pre-digested nutrients will feed the nervous system and brain directly. So you can often, if you're like a little bit deficient or coming from a bit of a sick baseline, you will get like a happy high buzz, which I've experienced myself. So there's definitely truth to it. And I feel really great doing it. I feel a lot calmer like the days after I have it. So when I'm back home, I don't have access to any rotten meat here, but I'll typically have like a piece of rotten meat once or twice a week. And it tastes like very, very strong. It tastes like alcohol in a way, or like peppery, like it's a super strong taste, like even so strong that your taste buds can't really comprehend it, if that makes sense. But it gives you like a powerful feeling, like it gives you a bit of a shock of power. I don't know. But no, I really enjoy it. But obviously people would find that very, very gross, eating rotten, decaying meat, sometimes with maggots. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you got some value. I hope this eased a little bit of your curiosity. As always, the links in my description are to join the private coursing community where you can have like one-on-one coaching access from myself over messages, obviously. And then also there's a link to apply for direct one-on-one coaching with myself if that's something you're interested in. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys.